Now these young men had determined, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, that they were going to serve God, and they were not going to bow down to an idol, no matter what the king said. That they were going to worship the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. They were going to keep following Him, no matter what the king said, and they refused. And they said, the king had got very angry at them because they had refused to bow down. Word came from those that were jealous of these young men. Word had came down that these young men were not bowing down to this idol. They were not going to bow down to this idol. And so the king got very angry at them, and he called them out. And he said this, boys, he said, now, the band's going to play. And when the band plays, everybody's going to bow down and worship the idol. And if you'll do that, good. But if not, I'm going to throw you in the fire, in the fiery furnace. Now there was not going to be a trial. It's a either or, boys. Either you're going to bow down to the idol, or I'm going to heat the furnace 7 times hotter than it's ever been heated before. And either you're going to bow down to this idol and obey me, or you're going to be thrown in the furnace. But the boys said this. They said, King, we don't have to wonder about this. We don't have to think about it. We don't have to pray about it. We've already determined, O King, that we're going to serve the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. So the band played. They struck up the band. I wondered many times, Cowboy, what was the band playing that day? What was the song that the orchestra struck up that day? I've thought one time that it must be, there's going to be a hot time in the old town tonight. Or maybe not. I don't know. You weren't signing that, Susie. So the story goes on that the boys did not bow down. So the king gave the command that the furnace would be heated 7 times hotter than it had ever heated before. And they took these boys up to the edge of the furnace, and they had mighty men take these 3 Hebrew boys up to the edge of the furnace, and the fire was so hot that it even killed the men that took these 3 boys, Abraham, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Thank you. I'm okay. I just had a senior moment there for a moment. And so the boys were thrown in the furnace. The men that took them down there died because of the heat. And the king went to the edge of the furnace and looked in, and here's what he saw. He said, didn't we throw 3 men into the furnace? I see 4 men walking in the midst of the fire, and 4th is as the image of the Son of God. Jesus was walking with them in the midst of the fiery furnace, heated 7 times hotter than it had ever been heated before. And Jesus was with them. And when they came out, they were thrown in there with all of their clothes, their turban, their coat, their outer coat. They were bound. The only thing that was burned off of these boys was the tie that bound them. The rope that bound them up, the things that bound them were burned off in the midst of the burning fiery furnace. I want to tell you today that when you walk through the fire and you look to Jesus, when you're walking through that fire, Jesus will take away, He will burn away the things that bind us.